Today, we're going to talk about a tough one. We're going to talk about shame. Shame is one of those emotions that we pick up as we go, as we go through life, and we pick up experiences, um, the ones that maybe weren't the best decisions, and maybe go against our values. Um, may A lot of times will end up as shame. When I'm dealing with shame, it's usually bringing me back to some memories, and these are memories that could have happened, of events that could have happened 10 or 20 years ago, sometimes even more. And it's with this the current, with my current mindset and my current, values, that I go back and I analyze that, and it causes pain. It really, really does. And it causes me to question what I was thinking, what I was doing. And if you're not careful, you could beat yourself up pretty bad, and it's really, really not good for your mental health. So what I've done over the last few years, and maybe even longer than that, is trying to find a way to accept those moments that create the shame. You go back, and first of all, I look at how young I was, and I go, would I make that decision, or would I do that again? And the answer is usually no. A resounding no. That it's just not gonna happen. And it's a good thing, because it then stops you from making that type of decision today. It helps you, what I like to call is focus on the past to know. And that's not no n or KNOW, no, that's NO, no. Like, no, we're not going to do this. And what I see is that whenever we have those opportunities, or those moments come up, when we have questionable decisions to make, and those are those decisions that rub against our values, that there's always a lead up to no, and a lead up to yes. So if you look back and you say, how many steps were there that I could have said no to? I could have said no here, I could have said no here, I could have said no here, but instead I said yes, yes, and yes. And that's what led me to making that bad decision. And it's resulting, shame. But even though it is a memory that's back there, and it's a memory that I try to deal with, and try to put in, I guess, for a better word, compartmentalize. It's also something that I'm thankful for. And I'm thankful for that, because when people come to me for advice, or you know I'm talking to my kids, and I see them approaching these type of decisions, or having these sort of opportunities come up, or have these points in time where it looks familiar to me, and I say, or they're coming to me for advice, and I go, you know what, I've been here before, I've done it. And I would tell you, you might want to think really hard before you make that decision. You go down that path. You choose that outcome, because you may end up dealing with that decision for many, many years. And it's funny. It may not surface right away. It may surface years later, when you've changed your philosophy on life, and your whole paradigm is different. Those memories creep up, and those bad decisions, shame is the result. So what do I do? Well, first of all, I learned to forgive myself. that's a big deal. Learning to forgive yourself and um, learning to just not beat yourself up too bad and just take it as, hey, this was life. This was how it was. These were the options you were given. These were the decisions you made. Own them. Take ownership of those decisions and go, look, we're just not going to do that again, and we're going to have a better outcome. We're gonna make a different decision here, and we're gonna look through our value prism, and we're gonna say, okay, let's let's evaluate that against that decision, against that opportunity, whatever you want to call it, and let's run it through that prism of values and see what comes out. I guarantee that's going to be a different decision. You're going to make a different decision every time because your outlook has changed, your view has changed, and your knowledge of what making that sort of decision and where it puts you in life is not something you want to deal with anymore. And that's a good thing. According to Merriam-Webster, shame is defined as a painful emotion caused by the consciousness of guilt, shortcomings, and impropriety. It involves negatively judging oneself when failing to meet personal and societal standards, often leading to feelings of worthlessness and inadequacy. Shame is a conscious emotion that arises from the perception of dishonor or immodesty in one's conduct. It can evoke intense discomfort and a desire to hide, reflecting a deep sense of being flawed or inadequate. And with regards to shame, the Bible says this in Isaiah 54:4. Do not be afraid. You will not be put to shame. Do not fear disgrace. You will not be humiliated. This verse reassures believers that God is with them and they will not experience shame in his presence. What a great Bible verse. God is giving us the confidence of knowing that if he's in our life, then he's helping us to ward off shame. He's going to help us make those decisions to avoid shame and the lingering memories that come with it. Focus on the positive. Focus on what you can take away from from that from that experience, and how can we help somebody else with that and to avoid those unnecessary shameful feelings that we have. It's a great point to be at because not only do I have the life experience, I also have the confidence to tell people really what I would do now. And that's the truth. Um, yeah, those other decisions may have been a lot more fun than the decisions I make today. But you know what? I sure feel better. I sleep better at night. My conscience is better. I'm a better person because of running those decisions through my values and making those sort of decisions. Once again, my name is James, and I make content for older adults that are looking for answers to everyday situations. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.